Avodah Zarah Parakol Atzlamim Daf Mem Dalid, sponsored the Refuah Shlema for Zerach Zev Ben Peril. We begin with the Mishnah. The previous Mishnah taught a method of disposal for idolatrous items, casting them into the Dead Sea. This Mishnah presents an additional disputed method. Rabbi Yossi holds one can grind it into powder and cast it into the wind. The sages disagree. Torah states, "V'lo yidbak biyadcha mu'uma." Nothing of it should adhere to you. The pulverized powder can fertilize. Rabbi Yossi permits it because zevazeh gorim mutter. The powder mixes with other nutrients in the soil. Question: concerning the golden calf, the verse states, "Ve'kosasot tachon heitev ad asher dok le'afar, v'ashlich afaroi el hanochal." Moshe cast it to a valley without concerns of fertilizing it. The answer: the sages bring the verse "Vayizer al pnei hamayim," indicating he poured the powder into water for Klal Yisrael to drink, testing their loyalty as a husband would test his wife's loyalty with sota water. Rabbi Yossi explains that only a small amount of the powder was mixed in the water, the rest strewn into a dry valley. Question: King Asa deposed his grandmother, the queen, for an abomination referred to as maflatsta, mafli leitzanrusa, extreme depravity. She cohabited daily with an idol. Asa destroyed it, grinding and scattering its powder in Nachal Kidron, apparently not concerned it would fertilize the valley. Perhaps the reason Nachal Kidron was uncultivable. However, Mishnah states, all excess blood from sacrifices would flow by way of the Amma, a narrow canal in the temple, to Nachal Kidron for fertilizer. The answer: some parts were cultivable and some not. Asa scattered the idol powder where it was not cultivable. Question: when Chizkiyahu HaMelech realized Klal Yisrael worshipped the copper snake Moshe made in the desert, he pulverized it. The verse did not mention scattering in the wind or disposal in the Dead Sea. Scattering occurs naturally. Disposal in the Dead Sea does not occur naturally. Not mentioning it indicates scattering is a legitimate form of disposal. The answer: Moshe made it from his own money. Ein adam oiser davar she'eino shelo. One cannot prohibit something not belonging to him. Therefore, even those who worshipped it did not make it an idol. He pulverized it to publicize his opposition. Question: David HaMelech defeated the Philistines in battle. They fled, leaving behind their idols. The first states, "Vayisoyim David v'anoshav." Rav Yosef interpreted it according to the Targum, "Tazrinam v'ruach titaltalinun." You shall scatter them, and a wind will carry them away. Apparently, one can scatter idols in the wind. The answer: another verse states he instructed his soldiers to burn them. Did they pulverize or burn them? Before Itai Agiti, a Philistine soldier defected, nullified them, he instructed his soldiers to burn them. When Iti nullified them, Vayisoyim, they kept them. Proof: David wore their idol Milcom's crown. Subsequently, it fit only one worthy to be a king, not Adonio. It could have been permitted only because Itai Agiti nullified it. Question: how did David wear it on his head? It weighed over 60 pounds. Answer: number one, Vatial Rosh David means it was worthy to be worn, not that he actually wore it. Number two, it was suspended above his head with a magnet. Number three, it did not actually weigh over 60 pounds. It bore a precious stone worth that much gold. Now we move on to a new Mishnah. Rabbi Gamliel bathed in the bathhouse of Aphrodite. He was challenged by Proclus ben Plospus, either an idolatrous priest or a Gentile heretic, as to the efficacy of his actions. His first response: number one, Ein meishivim b'merchatz, one cannot respond in a bathhouse. Question: how did he respond? One cannot state a halachic ruling in a bathhouse, even in a language other than Hebrew. The answer: he responded only after leaving the bathhouse. Number two, the bathhouse was erected for public use before the statue. Number three, the bathhouse is primary. It does not adorn the statue, but the statue adorns it. Number four, one generally treats his idol respectfully. Even offered a large sum of money, would not enter an idolatrous temple naked, impure, and certainly not urinate in front of its statue. Here the bathhouse waste passed in front, disgracing and consequently permitting its use. Rabbi Yoshaya held Rabbi Gamliel deceived the heretic. Rabbi Chama disagrees. Number one, why is Aphrodite different than Balpur, whose adherents defecated to it? Rabbi Chama refuted this argument. Defecating was the manner of serving Balpur, not Aphrodite. Number two, so long as a Jew does not express gratitude to the statue's priest, he is permitted to benefit from its bathhouse or garden, even if the statue was erected first. Rabbi Chama refuted this argument. Rabbi Gamliel's presence at the bathhouse without expressing gratitude was a benefit to its priests, drawing many customers to the bathhouse. Number three, one who said the bathhouse is to adorn the statue does not consecrate it to the idol. The rule is ein hekdesh lavodis kochavim. There's no verbal consecration for idols. There must be an act of offering. Rabbi Chama refutes this. It may be prohibited to bathe because it adorns the statue. Rabbi Gamliel therefore taught it is not an adornment. If you're enjoying Daf and 5, please click on the link below, subscribe, and become a sponsor. A Freilich and Purim, a happy Purim, Purim Sameach.